Entonces,
Sí, exacto.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, guests. The other day I was jogging down the street. I was actually jogging in the park. And I was running. It got really hot out, so I had to stop and take a drink of water. While I was taking a drink of water, I saw far away in the grass a baby, a 2-year-old baby, a Mexican baby. He was just sitting there in the grass, and I wondered, where are his parents? I looked around, and they were nowhere near him. So I tried getting closer to the baby to find out what was going on, and I realized that he was all by himself. I got closer, and I realized that he had a handful of dirt. He had a handful of dirt, and he was just taking chunks out of that dirt. He was just eating it. He was enjoying it. Like it was a fat kid eating a cheeseburger. He was just admiring it and looking at it. So I found this very unusual. So I came closer, and I stomped my foot down, and I looked at him. He turns around, he looks at me. He's really scared because he's thinking that somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to make him do something. Somebody's going to yell at him. And he's thinking that I'm one of his parents. He looks at me with his eyes wide open. And I'm looking at him, and I don't know what to say. He looks at me, he looks down at the dirt, he looks up at me, he looks back down at the dirt. I still don't know what to say. And instead, he starts thinking, like he just thought this in a matter of seconds. He started hiding the evidence. He started to hide the evidence behind his back, really slowly, while looking at me. Even though his face was all full of dirt. And I knew what he was doing. While we were staring at each other's eyes, we heard a noise in the back, and it was his mom. His mom came running, slapped the dirt off his hand, and started spanking him right in front of me. He started crying, of course, and I just walked away. Later on that day, I started thinking, Oscar, I started thinking about the way that kid looked at me, that baby looked at me, that Mexican baby looked at me. And I said, Oscar, you need one of those. Maybe you could be a parent once in a life. And I started thinking about this. I started thinking, my friends have one, why not me? I'm going to go out there and plant my seed somewhere. So I decided to call one of my friends. I called him up, one of my best friends. I look up to him because he has 3 kids, going on 4, and he still hasn't gotten a divorce. Not only that, but he makes me want to be a better man. I'm not going to be, but he sure makes me want to be one. I talk to him, I tell him my idea. He tells me, Oscar, that is the worst idea you ever had. I said, why? Well, I could be a parent too. He says, Oscar, you do not know what it is to be a parent. What it's like to be a parent. Kids are demons. They make a mess everywhere they go. I've been changing diapers my whole life. They defecate everywhere. I can't stand it anymore. They eat everything. There's not food in the house. There's never enough food in the house. I'm afraid for my life. If I were not the food in my house, they'll probably eat me. I can't take it anymore. He keeps going. He says, Oscar, don't do it. My wife, she's exhausted. She's always exhausted. She's so exhausted she doesn't even shave her legs. She doesn't shave her mustache. Every time we make love, it's like making love to King Kong. It's like making love to a monkey girl. It just doesn't feel right. It's not the same. Oscar, don't do it. It's not for you. So I went home and I started thinking, you know what, I'm gonna take that as a challenge. I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna plant my seed somewhere. So if you guys know of anybody that looks good with hairy legs and a hairy mustache, let me know and send her my way.